In 2019, Sly Stone lay in bed, barely breathing. His lungs were weak, his body is thin. Years of crack cocaine had torn him apart from the inside. A doctor looked him in the eye and gave it to him straight. Keep smoking, and you may not survive. It wasn't the first time he'd heard this, but something was different this time. His voice, almost gone, whispered to his daughter, "From the way I was feeling." I took it serious this time. The man who once ruled funk was now struggling, just to stand. And yet, something inside him, something buried beneath decades of pain, fame, and chaos, was ready to fight back. The man who refused to obey Sly Stone was never one to follow rules, not even his own. He walked out of hospitals just to smoke in the parking lot, fired bandmates mid-tour, canceled sold-out shows because the vibe wasn't right. He didn't bow to fame. He stared it down, daring it to blink. I am who I am when I am it. A paradox, a prophet, a powder keg of genius. You couldn't control Sly, but you couldn't ignore him either. A sound that changed everything, 1967. A record drops. Dance to the music. It wasn't soul, it wasn't rock. It was everything, and something else entirely. Psychedelic soul was born, and with it, a revolution. Motown had polish. Sly had power. Suddenly, the music wasn't just about love and heartbreak. It was about resistance, identity, fire. Black artistry had taken a hard turn. And the rest of the world, it scrambled to keep up. Breaking the rules, making the rules record labels wanted another dance track. Sly gave them "There's a Riot Going On," distorted, druggy, disillusioned. It was the sound of America unraveling. And he captured it in layers of overdubbed madness. He recorded until the tape wore thin. Laid vocals while nodding off from coke. Brought in silence as a weapon. It wasn't a rebellion. It was a revelation. This was music that bled truth. Raw, ugly, real. The rise of the family. Stone, the family Stone, wasn't just a band. It was a statement: black, white, male, female, funk, gospel, acid rock, soul, all colliding into one electric explosion, but the world wasn't ready. They faced racism on the road. Club owners canceled gigs. Audiences booed them before they even played a note. Still, they kept going. Everyday people. Stand. I want to take you higher. Hit after hit. But more than that, blueprints. He didn't just inspire the Temptations and Funkadelic, he unlocked them. I was always happy if someone took the things I was doing and liked them enough to want to do them on their own. Sly didn't compete. He created it. Success, pressure, and the need to escape. By the early 70s, success was a weight, fame, a prison. The shows never stopped. The pressure never eased. His body could barely keep up. He turned to drugs, not to party, but to survive. Coke. PCP. Chaos. The only thing I know that would have made life easier was to get booked into fewer shows. But the machine didn't stop. Not until he broke. He missed 26 shows out of 80. The magic was fading. The fire was flickering. The legacy was cracking. Betrayals, fights, and falling apart. The family Stone shattered from the inside. Larry Graham, the bass genius, left after a violent feud. Sly's own bodyguard allegedly plotted to kill him. Guns were drawn. Trust destroyed. Even Sly's sister Rose was caught in the storm. Bubba had the disagreement with Larry. He didn't want anyone paying special attention to Rose. Jealousy. Paranoia. Violence. The love that built the band had curdled into something darker. Disappearing acts and delusions. Then, silence. He vanished from the studio. Albums left half-finished. Appearances missed. Rumors spread faster than tracks. In 1982, during the making of Ain't But the One Way, he simply disappeared. A journalist reached out years later. Sly answered the phone. Faux off. He demanded payment up front just to talk. then pitched a bizarre new idea, a band made entirely of albino musicians. He said it would neutralize race. One day, his pit bull attacked his pet monkey. Another day, he threatened a producer over a bathroom schedule. If I don't take a big shot now, I'll regret it. This wasn't a comedy. It was a tragedy, wrapped in delusion. The turning point, redemption in silence. Then came the silence. Not artistic, not strategic, just silence. But behind closed doors, something shifted. Fun, his daughter, and Arlene, his wife, camped outside his house. They chased away drug dealers, kept vigil while he went through withdrawals, watched as he shook, coughed, struggled. Bloods gang members threatened them. Police raids loomed, but they stayed. And finally, he quit. He stopped, his lungs scarred, his hearing damaged, his voice raspy, but his mind awake. When I got clean in 2019, that will let the process start. Not a comeback, a resurrection, telling his story. At last, for years, he avoided the spotlight, dodged interviews, ghosted collaborators, but in sobriety came clarity. He sat down, dictated his memories, slowly, painfully, honestly. The book that no one believed would happen, happened. Thank you for letting me be myself again. Not just a memoir, a confession, a reckoning. I always wanted to tell my story, but the time wasn't right. Now it was. The unreleased gold, a vault, waiting to explode. Insiders whisper of vaults, hard drives, tapes, boxes, hundreds of unreleased songs, tracks from the 80s, lost sessions from the 70s, funk experiments, soul confessions, still waiting to be heard. Archivists say they're holding masterpieces. What if his most powerful music hasn't even come out yet? What if the world hasn't heard his final truth? His fingerprints on the modern sound, his voice may be quiet now, but his echo, unmistakable. You hear it in Kendrick Lamar's rage, in Childish Gambino's fusion, in D'Angelo's soul. In every artist who dares to blend genres and burn the rule book. He didn't just influence music, he freed it. Legacy etched in fire and soul, he never chased fame. He ran from it, he never followed trends. He set them on fire. He never gave the world what it wanted, he gave it what it needed. I never lived a life I didn't want to live. Sly Stone was not a star. He was a signal, a spark in the dark, a storm in the groove, a genius, a rebel, a survivor. Today, he doesn't need to perform, because his rhythm never stopped playing. It lives in the beats, in the breaks, in bold. Sly Stone isn't gone. He just became the sound.